Hi, everybody. It's Dee Slater with Create with Dee. Welcome to December. We are going to have a fun day today making a box that's going to hold all of your standard size greeting cards, standard size for the US, the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're also going to do a little bonus notepad, and I hope that you're getting all geared up for December's holidays. All right, well, before we get started with all of the information and the goodies, I would love for you to, if there's anything in here that you like, please give this video a thumbs up. Give it a heart if you're watching on Facebook. And if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Facebook on the Facebook page. Hi, Marge. And if you would, I'd love for you to say hi as you come in, whether you're watching the live stream or you're watching the replay. It's always kind of fun just to see who's out there watching, and just a quick hi on their comments would be great on that. All right, so before we get started with the project here today, I thought I would just kind of give you a little bit of information of what's coming up and what my free with purchase is this week. So my free with purchase this week is some products that you can use. It's a pack of rhinestones. Of course, you can use rhinestones on anything. You can add color to them with your Stampin' Blends on it. The notepad here is something that we'll be making today with that. And then I have a future class that will use these little mini calendars. I'm hoping I'll tell more about that towards the end. So with your online purchase of $40 or more, this would be what I'll be thanking you this week with. Also, I wanted to just give everybody a quick look at what this month's club is. There's still 4 days left if you aren't already a Creative Club member. If you want to join my Creative Club, there's no long-term obligations. You can start and stop whenever you'd like. But we are going to feature this month Fluffiest Friends is the bundle that you can get at a special. And these are our adorable cards that we're going to make at Club. At Club, you get about $20 worth of materials and a site that has access to all of my stuff, or all of the past kits. And so lots of fun here coming up in December if you want to create with me. Oops. Also, if you if you're a customer of mine, you'll be receiving the upcoming mini catalog and the celebration catalog in the mail, or if you're local, I'll have it ready here to pick up for you the next time that we see each other. And if you're not already working with Demonstrator and you want a copy of these, mine are coming in. And so just leave me a message and I'll reach out to you and get some more information from you about how you can get your hands on the actual printed materials. Okay, I think that's all of the announcements that I wanted to have. I'll turn the camera around and we'll get started on our project. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to make a nice box that will fit our standard cards that we have. Whoops. In here, you can easily make coordinating cards for the box that we're going to, again, be making here in just a little bit. This was a recent local class that we did. We did 3 of these plus a calendar easel card. This will be another video that I'll do. And so you can have that with your envelopes. It's got a little magnetic closure is what I used on it. And then even if you wanted to include our little notepad that we'll be making later on, you know, you could really load this up and either use it for yourself or make it for a gift. All right, so what we're going to do first is we are going to make this box. What I'm going to be using today for this is a translucent floral stamp set and die. It's a bundle. This is one of those online exclusives from Stampin' Up, meaning that it's not in the catalog. It's you can find it under the online exclusives using the beautiful Delightful Floral designer paper. I'll have to show you how much I have left out of my 2 packs that I had. And you're going to need some 12 by 12 basic white cardstock. All right, so let me get this moved off to the side for a moment. And we'll get in our scoring tool. Now you could use either your trimmer, or if you have the Simply Scored tool, you can do that as well. And let's see here. All right, so I thought what I would do is, like, this is where you can either pause or take a screenshot, but I thought I would really just give you a nice visual on how these are going to be, on what we're going to need. All right, so this is all from one 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. So, you know, again, you'd have that. And I wanted to show you how, well, I'll show it later on here, but you'll have just a little bit left over for your, you know, your stamping on it. But we're going to start out with a piece of 12 by 6 cardstock, and along the 12-inch side, we're going to score at 4.5, 6.5, and 11. We're going to do this together here in just a little bit. We need 2 pieces of 3 by 5, and these are scored at a 1/2 inch on 3 sides, the 2 long and 1 short. And then the last thing we're going to need is a piece of cardstock that's 4 by 6, scored along the 4-inch side at 2. So, so those are all screenshots that you can have for future measurements. And now let's go ahead and let's do the scoring together so that you can see how easy it is. I love this box. This is a box that I found online, and I slightly tweaked it to make it a little easier to put together, I thought. But I wanted to show you how to cut this so that you can maximize your 12 by 12. All right, so if you can see this, what you want to do is cut at 6 inches first. And that's going to give us our 6 by 12 card base. Next, so that leaves you with another 6 by 12. What we want to do is, while you have the 6-inch here, turn it and cut it at 4. And then that will leave you with this. The next thing is go ahead and cut this at your 5 inches. This will be scrap that you can use for your die cutting, punching, stamping. And then from that 6 by 5, cut it in half, and so that you have 3 by 3 or a 3 by 5. So that's how you can maximize the cuts. I thought that that might be interesting for you guys to see how that's done. All right, so again, super simple scoring here, nothing too difficult. So we're going to score it at 4.5, 6.5, and at 11. That's going to be for the outer part of our card. This is our 4 by 6. We're going to score it along the 4-inch side at 2. And then we need 2 pieces of our, get those out of the road, of our 3 by 5. And what we want to do is we're going to score it a 1/2 inch on all sides. Now you can come in here and score it, you know, from the corner, but I think it's easier to come in from the outside. So a 1/2 inch. So a 1/2 inch in would be 4.5. 1/2 inch in, it's 2.5. And we need 2 of those. So 1/2 inch from the outside. And again, you could do those from the inside if you wanted to. All right, that is it. That is all of the scoring to make this nice big box. I'll get that out of the road. And we'll bring these in. All right, so whoops, let me grab this. I'm also going to show using a corner rounder to make a kind of a finished look to it. Currently, Stampin' Up! Does not have a punch that rounds the corners. They've had it in the past, or you might have, you can find them online as well. All right, so here's our 6. This was our 6 by 12. This is going to be the start of our box. Okay, so as you can see, I took the one, like here's the 1-inch section. We're going to fold that in towards us. The next fold, we're going to fold towards us. And then we can open it back up. And then this last, the larger panel, will fold away from us. All right, so we can put that off to the side. Here's our 4 by 6. So just go ahead and give that a score or a burnish. You can put that off to the side. All right, so here's our 3 by 5s scored at a 1/2 inch on 3 sides. The two long and 1 short side. And we've got our 2 pieces of that. Hi, Joan. Thanks for saying hi. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll bring in our sample. What I find that it's easier to do is to put our designer paper on before, or pattern paper, before we assemble it all together. And as you can see, even the inside lid is decorated as well. And this is where I did put some magnets in here. So I'll be showing how I incorporated the magnets so that you can't see them. All right, so first thing that I want to do is, again, here's going to be this one piece will attach the lid flap. So this large panel here is going to be our front. So let me get our layering pieces here that we need. We are going to need 2 pieces of our designer paper. Again, this is Delightful Floral. Love, love this paper. And this is cut. I've got 2 of them at 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. And this is going to be on the front and the back panel. So I'll go ahead and get my liquid glue. Oops, and this is what I always have to stop myself and do. We want to hide our magnets. So I have these little craft magnets. They're just, it doesn't matter what size that you have. I've got my Amazon link in case you would like to order them. The one on Amazon that I really like, and that's the link that I have, has the adhesive back to it. All right, so what we want to do is I'm going to put the magnet down first, and then our designer paper will cover that. So I'm going to get my mini glue dot, and I'm going to put down the magnet. All right. I want to have it somewhat close to the top because our flap is 2 inches. So you don't want to put it in the middle because the flap has to connect. So, drop down about 1 inch. And what I like to do is keep my front and back of the magnet together first. That way I know for sure that, it's a pair. Okay, so now I can take off the top one. I'm going to put that off to the side. All right, so now I have that down and I can hide it. Now I'm ready for the front of my designer paper. And yes, it'll have just a little bit of a bulge, but that's no big deal. And we'll put that down. Okay, that's the front. And now my paper does have some directions. So what I want to do is kind of stand it back up. And now this is going to be the back panel. And I just want to make sure that my my flowers are going in the direction I want them to. If you have a pattern that's not directional, you don't have to worry about being quite as careful as this. Okay, so we've got that. All right, so now let's put on our side panels. And I think before we do that, I like to put the designer paper on as well. It just kind of helps make it a little more, oh, what do I want to say? It's easier to put it on while it's flat. Oh, and here's the measurements for that if you wanted to take a screenshot of that. So DSP stands for Designer Series Paper. We need 2 at 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. We need 2 for the sides at 1 3/4 by 4 1/4. And we need 4 for the lid for the outside and inside of 5 3/4 by 1 3/4. Okay, so those are the measurements. And I'll get the ones for the side panels. So this is going to be the top, the part that we did not score. And so again, if your paper has direction, that's what we want to put it like so, so that the scoring is down at the bottom. And then our panels will go like such. Once you put one of these together, I think that you'd really can go to town. It's at the time of the video, it's early December, and maybe you're gifting some of your beautiful handmade cards that you've made throughout the year. You know, a great thing to make for your coordinating pieces here. All right, so now it's time to put on our side panels. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up to the score line on both of these. And what we don't want to do, I scored this one off just a little bit. Well, darn it. Let me go and it looks like it's a little, I could tell that my tabs weren't quite square. I'm going to just kind of do this again real quick. So this one's off just a little bit. I must have missed my mark on that. So if you notice that your tabs down here weren't square, that's going to be, you know, that's why I did this. So mine's going to be a little wonky, but that's all right. Okay. What we don't want to do is do not miter this section here. This is actually your side of your box bottom. Now, if you want to angle cut the tabs, you can, but do not angle cut this one. So I'm going to angle cut this a little bit on the bottom tab. And the same thing on this one. Don't miter or angle cut the middle section there. And we'll do the other ones. This will just take a little bulk off the sides of our box, make it fold up together really nice. All right, so now we're going to take some tear and tape. And I would recommend tear and tape for this. And I'm going to put tear and tape on our panels, our 1/2 inch panels. You can go all the way down on those if you want. Need some on our bottom and some on our other side. And same thing over here. On either side. The side panels, I'm going to say if it's anything that's a little tricky, it might be the side panels, but it's not so tricky that we can't, you know, do it. Again, maybe do a mock-up one before you go full in. But really, I thought it was a fairly easy easy project. Okay, I'm taking the tear and tape off of one of my panels, my side panels. Whoops, come on, tear and tape. And we want to take, well, what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to go ahead and tuck this in and actually make like a little box lid. So I like to go ahead and put this together first. So it looks like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to line up the edge here. This is going to be our box corner or our box side. And I'm going to lightly line that up. Or I should, just barely get the adhesive on it. And now I'm going to come in on one side and line that up. And then I'm going to kind of leave this side open for now. I'm going to set that off to the side. It's easier to put these down before we put the front flap on. Now let's take off the adhesive on the other side. This is the one that I measured a little wrong or whatever. So if you ever, when you find out that you do that, you would just stop and you would cut another one. I'm going to go forward with this so that our video doesn't, you don't have to watch me do this again. Again, what I like to do is go ahead and fold up the corners first. Get a nice crisp corner. I'm just kind of worried about this one because I cut it wrong. All right, and so then kind of put it on the other side. Bring in the bottom of it. Kind of gently put it in. It's kind of awkward with the camera angle here. And I'm going to bring this in and just kind of line that up. And I'm going to line it up with the side that I had with the other one. Oops. So you can kind of just get it in there and put it in the corner. Like I said, this is like the trickiest part of it. Get that down and then line up your last edge. That. Okay, so there we go. And this is my one that I did wrong. And I'm going to just, you know what? Crafting mistakes happen. I'm just going to go ahead and take my snips and just kind of fudge it. There we go. So that's the box. If you wanted to, you could almost fold that in and just have this as an open box. Take off that last inch and you could just do an open box. But we're going to make our lid for it. All right, so what I want to do before we do our lid is I'm going to take my corner rounder and on one of the ends, on the 5 1/4 ends, I'm going to round my corners. Now, as mentioned, we're going to need 4 pieces of designer paper. And these are 5 3/4 by 1 1/4. And what I'm going to do is on one of them, this is going to be our lid. So if your paper has direction, you want to line that up. And these are the sides that I want to corner round. And then because I'm decorating the inside as well, I'm going to do the same thing. When you open it up, I want it to be right side up here. And so now my corners are going to be at the top. So just kind of be patient when you get ready to glue down the designer paper for the lid. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. This is going to be for the top part of the box. And we can just go ahead and take our liquid glue and put that on. So again, this is the one that is not corner punched. Okay. And now, again, I want to put the magnet here before I put this on. So what I can do is I'm going to, now this is the other part of this. So I'm going to find my magnet. There's my magnet. Okay, so we can go ahead and kind of stage. You know what? Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll put this on first. Let me do that. Changing how I'm going to do this. Okay, so here's our one that we're going to put on the, whoops, I don't want to do that yet. Let's go ahead and we'll put down our inside ones. So this is going to be the pattern paper for the inside. Okay, here we go. This is the outside. The outside does not have the magnet. The inside has the magnet. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, so on the outside, we can decorate the outside of the lid. And put that all together. Now on the inside, we can put our straight piece. And put that down. Okay. So we're leaving the inside. We're not going to put any designer paper on that yet. Now what we're going to do is we are going to, oh shoot, darn it. Okay, I took off the designer paper on the inside and we're going to add tear and tape to the top. It had been a heartbeat since I've made 2 of these, and I do apologize. We want to put our tear and tape on this 1-inch panel here. And I'm going to put 2 pieces of it. You could also use liquid glue on this part if you wanted to. Okay, and we're going to take this off. So again, we can put our designer paper on the outside of what's going to be the lid, but we're going to hold off on putting the inside. And the reason being is, and this gets lined up, because again, it was 6 inches, just like the size of our box. That gets lined up right on the seam. Okay, and so this is what it looks like on the inside. This is why I hurriedly took off the inside of the panel, because now this is going to cover our seam. So, you know, it's all about covering up that 1-inch strip. And the 1-inch strip that's left for the top is what allows us to connect the lid. Now I can put this panel here, and it does a nice job of camouflaging that seam. Cute. Okay, we can see where this is going now. All right, now it's time to figure out where to put the magnet. All right, so I'm going to put it like this so I get the best camera shot. Okay, so here's my magnet. Okay, so there's that little magnet to hold it. Now what we can do is we can take our mini glue dot for the other side. If yours happen to have adhesive back magnets, you could just take off the adhesive. Okay, so I put the glue dot on it. Now I'm going to close the lid where I want it, press, and this can be a little tricky here to get the magnet to stick. Well, let me go this way. So I'm going to put it here. Try this one more time. I'm going to get my hands in there. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Live always messes me up. All right, I'm going to guesstimate. We'll put it here. And let's see, need it a little higher up. This is one of those do as I say, not as I do, I guess. Let's try this a little different. There it is, that. Let's try, I'm going to put some tear and tape all the way across here. So if this happens to you, I'm putting tear and tape where I know my designer paper will go over. Trying to get something so that it really sticks to it. Well, if nothing else, I'm going to measure. Darn it. Okay, so there's I'm about a 1/2 inch. Let's try a 1/2 inch. If this doesn't work this time, okay. There it went. Yay. That was way harder than what it needed to be, boys and girls. Holy cow. All right, so when it does that, now we can put on our designer paper. So again, all of that to cover that. So really, if you wanted to, you could measure ahead of time and then put a little X marks the spot to help you with it. Well, that took up about 4 more minutes than what I wanted it to. Oh my gosh. You guys know me, I can be such a goofball. All right, and then we'll put this down and cover up our magnet that we tried so hard to get on there just right. And voila, and it holds it down. Oh, give me some loving just for my whole goofiness. I would appreciate that. All right, so now we've got this beautiful box and we can decorate the front of it. Let's go ahead and do that with our coordinating stamp set that matches our paper. And ahead of time, what I've done is I stamped with Bubble Bath one of the flowers and stamped and punched that out. And I've got 2 of the leaf images and I used Lemon Line Twist and I've got 2 of those. And I have the nested shapes, and we're going to go ahead and kind of just build up our front here for just a little bit. So what we can do is with our liquid glue, actually let's put some dimensionals on it. So with our dimensionals, I'm going to not put any on the outer part of it, but 2 of them here. And we'll do that. So kind of have it so that it kind of goes up and out a little bit. Same thing on the other side. So for my local gals that took this class, you have all of this extra paper here, and this is what you can do for to make your box. We can put that like that. And I have the adhesive back sequence. Whoops. And what I like about the sequence pack, and you can tell that I've used it a lot here. What I like about this sequence pack, this is what it looks like. It's got pink tones, it's got the pretty peacock, and then it's got clear. But these sequins, they can really blend with a lot of different colors. And so I'm going to take some of the pink and just kind of scatter those around. Put a couple of those on to add a little sparkle on that. Now we'll get our box back. And on here, I'm just going to put liquid glue. And that's going to be right here in our center of our box. So now we have this beautiful box that we made. Thank you, Marge. Yes, I know. My goodness. And I always seem to struggle when I'm on, when it's live. It's just the way that it goes. I probably struggle all the time. It's just not quite so obvious to me. So then you can see, like, you can do that. You could easily fit 4 to 6 cards in our box with envelopes on it. Okay, so that's the first project on here. Yay, Marge has the bundle on its way. That is awesome. Okay, the second quick project that we could do with our 12 by 12 basic white and our designer paper is, like, if you wanted to, you can make a total companion piece on this. So this is using the 3x5 mini lined notepads, and let's see here. This is what, I bought a bunch of them when I found them at Dollar Tree. Again, I've got a link for the my Amazon store if you wanted to see what they looked like. But you can find these at, like, the Dollar Tree as well. And so what we're going to do for this is take our notepad here. And on this one, what I'm going to do is show you how that we can do the magnets on the outside if you don't want to go through what I just went through here. It's another way of doing it where the magnets, it's still there, but it's not going to be quite as hidden as what we did before. All right, so I've got my little 3x5 notepad, and this time what I have is I've got a piece of our basic white cardstock. If you guys don't have 12 by 12 basic white cardstock in your stash, please consider putting it on your next order. It's just, I don't know, it's just a nice thing to do if you like these 3D things. This is 12 by 3 and 3/8. So yes, it's 3/8. 3 3/8. And the reason is that I don't want it to overhang too much from our pad. All right, oops. So we're going to get our scoring tool out here again. And we'll squish this over. And so now we're going to score this. Again, this is if you've got your 3x5 pads. We are going to score this at 4 1/4. And then if you're on your scoring tool, you're just going to go one more notch at 4 3/8. And then we're going to come down here at 9 inches and 9 3/8. So it's 9 and then count 3. 1, 2, 3, 3/8 and 9 1/2. Okay, we'll get rid of the Simply Scored tool. The reason why I've got these little 1/8 marks is to give, because that's about the width of my notepad here. And so that's going to accommodate for the size of that. So I'm going to go ahead and get those scored. And we'll do that. Those 1/8 of an inch can be kind of tricky. I'm just going to kind of fold that back. So again, just kind of some fun little gifts that you can make and give anytime, really. At the time of this video, it's Christmas. It's just right around the corner. And, maybe these are neighbor gifts, team gifts, like just anything. We are a big card family, and we play a lot of games. And so cute little gift, to give to keep score with, if you've got, something like that. Okay, so this is where this is going. All right, so on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put everything down and then put the magnets on it. So if all of this was like too confusing, don't worry, I've got your back. All right, so I wanted to show you this. Like I said, I absolutely love this paper. This is what I have left from 2 packs. I'm down to the nitty gritty. I think I've got 1 full sheet out of 24 sheets left. I just love this paper. All right, so just like before, if you wanted to, you could round the corners. On this one, I'm going to show how it looks without rounded corners so that you can get the idea for either of the box. All right, so What I'm going to do, this is how, well, let's go ahead and put the notebook in here. And what I like to do is go ahead and put the tear and tape on the back of my notepad. I've got this kind of wonky wonk. Okay, so again, this is a 3x5. And, you know, give yourself at least, 4 strips of this. Just because, if hopefully people do use it for, jotting down their grocery list, for scorekeeping, whatever they are going to be doing with it. You want to make sure that it stays on nice and secure until they use all of that paper up. I'll get all of those off. Okay, so the small end here is what I'm going to have the flap. And so just make sure that you've got your pad opening up in the right direction. I'm going to move my boxes off here just a little bit. And then that just gets put in between the, the score lines. And you have just that 1/8. That's why we had, like, since this is 3 inches, or, that's why this is 3 1/8. So that's where our little gussets kind of help do that. All right, so now it's decorating. And I've got 2 pieces of designer paper. These are, you know what, I think I said this wrong. This is actually 3 5/8. 3 5/8, not 3 1/8, 3 5/8, because this is 3 1/2. Okay, so 3 5/8. And then this is 3 1/2 by 2 3/8. And we need 2 of those. And again, if it has direction to it, I think I'll put this on the inside. I am using on this one, I'm actually using up some of my scrap pieces. I didn't have enough of any one for all of it, but it's a great way that you can mix and match and still have it look cute. All right, so I've got 2 of those, one for the inside and one for the outside. And those are just going to get down like that. And now I'm going to, same thing, is we're going to put this on the inside and the outside. So 2 of the larger ones are 3 1/2 by 4. So we'll put that on. Hi, Dawn. And, I just absolutely love this idea of having it decorated inside and outside. It's just so pretty. And, quite honestly, like, let's use up our pattern paper. We've got our scraps and everything, but why not, let's not hang on to them forever. Let's go ahead and let's use them up. Look how pretty that is. All right. So if you wanted to, you could tie, a ribbon on it or anything, but I just, I had my magnets and I just really wanted to use them. I think it just kind of helps finish off the look. All right, so let's add magnets, but let's do it in a different way than what we've done here before. Let's see here. I'm going to get some scrap white. And let's see here. These are some retired punches. You can find whatever size of punch that you might like. This is a 3/4 of an inch punch. You could use dies. You could use whatever that you want to do. But another way of doing it is getting 2 little circles on here. And let's try this again. I'm bound and determined. Well, if you wanted to, you could just go ahead and put the magnets on the outside. And let's see here, get my magnets again. This way is another way to do it that you can still hide your magnets, but it's a little, I think it's an easier way that's not hidden, whoops, behind the designer paper. All right, it's hidden behind a circle punch here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing that we did before. Let's try this, you know, again. I think we can do it this time. All right, and now we can go ahead and put glue dots on both sides of the magnets. And now since I can come in, see how that one just lifted right off of it? There's nothing in between and I can see it. All right, now if we want to hide the magnets, we can just add you know, an element to this. So we can go ahead and take our glue dots again. And if you wanted to, you could even add, like once you got to this point, you could add an accent strip of designer paper over top of that. But I'm just going to go ahead and hide it with just a circle. Again, putting glue dot on either side of it so you don't see it, and now it still closes nicely. And then you can go ahead and still with our translucent flowers, you can do, you know, you can add another embellishment to it. What I wanted to show you is that this is with the stitch shapes. That's what I used for that. And so I'm just going to put adhesive on the top half of it. And let's get the right side of it. So the top half of it, and then just kind of, you know, put it wherever that you would like it to be. And then, you know, add whatever embellishment you want on it like that. Okay, that is our class here today with 2 things that you can make for some gifts here. And I hope that you really like that. For the box, again, like you could so easily, like you saw me struggle with that on it. Of course, it was because it was live. But what I would recommend if you didn't want to hide it behind the designer paper is to go ahead and, whoops, and use, like, here's what it looks like exposed. That was my sample that I did. I forgot to hide it on that one. But then on this one is where you can cover it with a circle or another layer that you put over top of it. Hi, Linda. All right, so that is our class here today. Let me know what you think about it. If you liked anything in here, including me bumbling over stuff, you know, please give this video a thumbs up or a heart. And if you think that there's somebody that would like to learn how to make these gift boxes in this notepad, please share the video. I'd really appreciate it. I said I'd give a little sneak peek of what's coming up. So later today, I'm going to come on here unannounced, and I will be making this easel calendar that that will coordinate with this as well. And that way, again, just so that you can see all of the different things, you can take this designer paper and this and the stamp set and everything and just really have some fun with it. And again, as a reminder, this week's free with purchase, a $40 online purchase from me, is that you'll get a pad. It could be any color because they came multicolored in the packs that I have. You'll have a little calendar that you'll be able to make the easel calendar with, and then some rhinestones that you can use to bling up your projects. All right, everybody. You have a great rest of your week, and I will be on here sometime later on today if you're watching me live or watching this video. Please look for a second part that, or not a second part, but an additional video that will show you how to make this really cute easel calendar that has a pocket with it. Have a great day. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.